love this highlighter so much. I love this blush so much. Hey guys, welcome back. So I have got a fun get ready with me video for y'all today using some of my favorite drugstore makeup ever. I thought I would just kind of gather together some of my most loved drugstore products and play with them on camera today so you guys could see a makeup look and then also kind of hear about some of my most loved things at the drugstore. So please give this video a thumbs up if you like this idea, if you want me to do more of these type videos, because I definitely could. If you are new here, my name is Leslie. Welcome. I hope that you will hit that subscribe button and stay around for a while because I love to do new at the drugstore, drugstore videos, favorites, get ready with me, some fashion content, empties, favorites. Did I already say that? Probably. But I love to do all kinds of different videos, so I hope that you will consider subscribing and staying around for a while. So yeah, gonna do this makeup look, play with some great drugstore makeup, so let's get to it. Okay, gonna start with one of my favorite moisturizers ever. This is the Derma E Vitamin C Renewing Moisturizer. Great, affordable option, but also just really good in general. And I love to wear this one during the day under my makeup. It's just a light sort of a moisturizer that's still really hydrating, but doesn't feel heavy under makeup. For foundation, I'm going to use a little combination of these two, both amazing drugstore options, long wearing, really pretty on the skin. The CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made, I have an L40, which I think is Classic Ivory, and then this is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in 120 Classic Ivory. So I am just going to mix some of those, mix a little bit of each of these, and apply them to my face. I would say if you want really matte, the Maybelline is a little bit more matte, but then if you want kind of a slightly more skin-like look, the CoverGirl is more of a skin-like look, but both are really long wearing, both really pretty on the skin, and I think both under like, I don't know, depending on where you get it, maybe under like $8 or something like that. But the Fit Me on Amazon is sometimes like $3 to $5. It's crazy affordable. My favorite drugstore eyeshadow primer, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus, like $5. Really works well. It is a slightly thinner consistency as far as eyeshadow primers go. Some of them are a little bit thicker in texture. This one's a little bit more on the thin side, so I do definitely like to set this one. While I let that set, I like to do my brows. This is such a good brow product, and depending on where you get it on Amazon, I think it's anywhere from like $4 to $7-ish or so, and it's great. This is the Maybelline Total Temptation something something brow pencil in blonde. It's an angled sort of a brow pencil, but I like that it's a little bit smaller. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds of the tiny little micro pencil, but also the angled pencil. So you can kind of do your brows a little bit more quickly. I like this color. Kind of a, I would just say mid-toned blonde. It's not super warm, but it's also not really taupey. It's just good. Okay, I'm gonna set my eyeshadow primer and also my brows a little bit with the Maybelline Fit Me powder in Classic Ivory and a Moda Pro Crease Brush. This is a good long wearing powder and super affordable. You guys, if you don't have the Maybelline Nudes of New York palette, you've got to get it. It's just so, so good. One of my favorite drugstore eyeshadow palettes, shadows in general options. I just love it so much. So I'm going to get a little bit of this shade right here. I'm using an MSQ brush. It's a little eyeshadow brush set that I got off of Amazon. It's in my Amazon storefront, but I can link it for you too. I mean, look how pigmented and pretty that is, and didn't take a lot of blending. Blends really easily, pigmented, good formula. I mean, this palette is so good, y'all. Next, I'm gonna get a tiny little bit of this and mix it with this shade right here. on a tiny little crease brush. This is also from the MSQ set. And just applying this to my outer corner and kind of like half of my lid. Honestly, I think just this right here is such a pretty eye look. Like I would just put on some liner and mascara and that would be the eye look. I think that's so pretty, but I'm just gonna keep playing with some makeup just for funsies. So I'm gonna take some of this shade and this shade right here, mix those together on a Moda detail brush. Gonna spray it with some setting spray. And then put this on my lid. I'm also gonna get just a little bit of this shade right here and put a tiny little bit of this on my outer corner. Another one of my favorite drugstore eyeshadow products is the e.l.f. Bite Size Eyeshadow Palette in Cream and Sugar. This is amazing. It's gorgeous by itself. I'm gonna get just a little bit of this shade right here on a small brush. It's a Delium Tools 716. Tiny little bit of that on that brush, spray it with some setting spray, and I'm gonna put it right on the inner corners of my eyes, kind of inner part of my lid, and then I'll go back later and put some right on the inner corners. It's just so bright and beautiful. For eyeliner, I'm gonna use the Rimmel Scandalize in Brown. Amazing liner, just so creamy, glides on your eyes, but doesn't drag, but also wears well. It's so good and really affordable. For mascara, I love this combo. The Maybelline Sky High, which gives lots of length and kind of a fluttery long lash look, and then I like to pair it with the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise, which gives really good volume. So I like the combination of the two. So I'm gonna start with the Maybelline and then follow it with the L'Oreal. So there's the Sky High just by itself. It's still really pretty by itself, but I do like a little bit more volume. I'm gonna clean up my brow bone a little bit just with some of this shade right here. Moving on to under eyes, I'm gonna start with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer in the Brightener shade. Maybelline makes some of the very best concealers in my opinion. Weird packaging on this, I've said this a million times, it's just the packaging I could kind of, do without that, but the product inside, such a great formula. But yeah, Maybelline just makes some of the very best concealers in my opinion. Because of the formula, they're creamy and flattering. So they don't look dry and unflattering under the eyes. Just a really good texture to them. So I have always been a fan of Maybelline concealers, specifically for my under eyes especially. And this Brightener shade is a really pretty pinky sort of a color. There's also a, it's called a Neutralizer shade. That one's a little bit more kind of peachy. I kind of apply this lightly in a sort of, still that V shape, kind of a shape under my eyes, just because I like that brightened look. And I don't use a ton of it where it's really like intense. I just use a little bit, but especially want to color correct that under eye discoloration for sure. Then the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, so affordable. I mean, depends on where you get it, but around $5 or so. And again, such a great formula to it. I'm using the shade Fair. I can also use the shade Light, but for my under eyes, I like to use Fair. I got too much product, so I'm gonna put a little bit around my nose too. Really good formula to this. Again, flattering, but also good coverage. It's not intense full coverage, but it's good coverage. For my under eyes, I like to start by using a brush, but then I usually end up using my fingertip for kind of like that last step because I get better coverage, and then also I think it kind of helps to meld everything into my skin. And this concealer has that sort of a formula that works well under the eyes and then also on the rest of your face. So it's one of those good concealers that you can just, throw it in your purse, bring it on vacation. It can do different things because the formula is so good. It's that right in between formula that just works kind of all over your face, in my opinion. Love it. I'm gonna set my under eyes with the L'Oreal Hydra Perfect powder. This powder is awesome. I wear it in light, and I just get a little bit on a Real Techniques, I think this is what is this? A setting brush. A Real Techniques setting brush. So you don't need very much. That's kind of my general rule for when I'm setting my under eyes. I try to use just a little bit of product and then kind of build up as I need more. But this powder is really smoothing and flattering. So I like to put this under my eyes and then in my T-zone. I would describe it as kind of a satin matte finish to it. So it's not super matte, but it's not glowy either. Okay, gonna set the rest of my face with the Maybelline Fit Me in Classic Ivory and a fluffier brush. This is an e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush. This powder is definitely more on the matte side, but I still feel like it's really flattering on the skin. It doesn't look dry. It looks matte, but it doesn't look cakey or dry to me. I really like it. For bronzer, I have to go with a classic, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I have the old packaging, but I'm still using it, so it's amazing. It blends so well. It looks beautiful on the skin. It has a lot of hype around it because it's amazing, and it's been amazing for a long time. So I'm gonna start with light bronzer, and then I'm gonna follow up with just bronzer. So kind of start with the light and get a, I don't know, fluffier application, and then the slightly deeper shade as more of a contour. If I'm going for a really light, soft makeup look, I'll use light bronzer because it is quite light, but it gives a softer, less contoured look, and I can build it up. You can see. I mean, it definitely does build up. Now I'm going in with bronzer. This is a Delium Tools 945. For blush, this is one of my favorite blushes ever, the L'Oreal True Match blush in Baby Blossom. Such a beautiful, sweet pink. I'm using an EcoTools Precision Blush Brush for this and building this up. It's a light, soft, glowy pink is how I would describe this. Isn't it so sweet? Oh my gosh. I love this blush so much. I love this highlighter, the J.Cat Beauty You Glow Girl Baked Highlighter in Bella Rose. Really pretty in the packaging, but just a beautiful highlighter. J.Cat Beauty makes some really pretty makeup, so definitely do not overlook them. Look how pretty that is. Okay, for the inner corners of my eyes, I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here from the eyeshadow palette and also a little bit of that highlighter. So I'm going to do a little combination to kind of tie everything together for a glowy, pinky inner corner highlight. For my lower lashes, I'm going to use my CoverGirl Clump Crusher, my favorite lower lash mascara. It's just easy to get to those lashes with the shape of this brush. And this is not a clumpy formula, hence the Clump Crusher name. So it works really well for those lower lashes. Last step for lips, I'm going to start with this liner. I think this is such a beautiful neutral lip liner. NYX Retractable Lip Liner in Nude. So we're going to start with that. Then Maybelline Bare Reveal Lipstick. Maybelline lipsticks, some of my very favorites, have been my favorites for years. They're so affordable. There's so many colors. I love the formula. They're just great lipsticks. And Bare Reveal is one of my favorite colors ever. And then I'm going to top it with one of the NYX Butter Glosses. These have been around for years and they're just amazing. I mean, they smell amazing, they feel amazing on the lips, and they're crazy affordable. Some of my favorite colors, I have several favorite colors, but two of my favorite colors, Fortune Cookie and Creme Brulee. Fortune Cookie is more of just a lighter nude, but then creme brulee has a little bit more of a peachiness to it. So I'm going to use creme brulee because I think it'll kind of help bring in the cheeks and the eye look a little bit. Okay guys, so here is the finished look. So I hope that you guys really enjoy getting ready with me today and kind of just playing with some of my favorite goodies at the drugstore. So please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Let me know down below what some of your go-to favorite drugstore makeup products are. I would love to hear that. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!